And he's pedal to the metal. Go, go, go!
Hello everybody and welcome to PSGL for PCF3. It's the final race of 2022 and we just mark the halfway stage of season 32. It's been a close competitive championship so far, but who can master the former RAF airbase here at Silverstone? We are in for an absolute classic. Let's take a look at what the calendar starts in toll for us, as well as the drivers and constructors standings. So we're at round 6 then of season 32, taking part here at Silverstone. After a week's break, since we're of course in Monaco, we now go into a 2-week break before we return. Portugal at Portimao is our next destination for round 7. Round 8 takes us to Belgium. Round 9 takes us to this new circuit of Australia as well. The modified turn 9 section as well. Going to be ever so exciting. Round 10 takes us to Austin, Texas at the Circuit of the Americas before the season rounds out in the United Arab Emirates at Abu Dhabi's Yas Marina. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Jonas Martins leads as well by just 5 points to Floris Wise as well. Floris did not start in Monaco, neither did Jake Finch. Jake will not also be here in Britain either. Cameron Dowds is in 4th position, a strong performance. He's only 11 points back. Lefted as well joins in the top 5. So a repeat win already this year with Jonas Martins as well. But we have had 4 different winners from the opening 5 races. In the Constructors' Championship, it's an 11-point lead for McLaren over Ferrari as well. Now, McLaren having 2 wins as well in Bahrain and Canada, and then Red Bull having a victory in the season over in Spain also puts Aston Martin victory last time out as well in Monaco. It's going to be a very entertaining race to see who's going to win here today. 4 different teams have won in the opening 5 races. Let's take a look around a former RAF airbase. It's Silverstone, 3.660 miles, 18 turns and some of the best corners on the planet. It's Bethlehem for Formula One. This is where it all started in 1950. Get a good exit out of the last corner club, across the line and hurtle down towards turn 1 in Abbey. 8th gear flat out, lift over to 7th, then just coast down towards Farm, back to full throttle. First heavy wheel braking spot down all the way, 3rd gear into Village. 2 tight left-handers coming up, the loop as well, which opens up the throttle slightly before a fast attack into Aintree. DRS open as you enter down the Wellington Straight towards Brooklands, reaching maximum RPM as well. Fly the car in 5th gear, control the acceleration as well through Brooklands into Lovefield. Double apex corner as well. Be careful not to make the car slide out as well. And attack through a long sweeping right across the National Start Straight at Woodcote. Next up, it's the fearsome Cops corner. If you can take it flat out, perfect, but don't be afraid to brake and lift down to 7th gear. Attack back to full throttle for the first 2 parts of the Maggots-Beckett complex. Flat out before lifting slightly as well, 7th gear. Beckett requires quite a lot of braking as well, down to 5th gear as you attack onto Chapel now. Open up the DRS once again and down the Hanger Straight. Once again, the engine is singing as you head down towards Stowe, named because of the Stowe School just behind the grandstand. Flipping the car in, 5th gear corner as well. Down the slight crest, down towards the pit lane entrance, in towards the Vale chicane. Brake at 70 metres into 3rd gear, flick the car into the left, then the right. It becomes double almost apex because it leads into Club at turn 18, across the control line, and that is a lap of Silverstone.
Hello everyone and welcome back to PSGL. here for the PCF3 Championship. We're back for round 6 at Great Britain. It's been a long time, actually. Well, not a long time, but it's been 1 week, which to me is a long time. It feels like we haven't been here for quite a while. But Josh, you excited to be back as well?
I am, yeah. Yesterday's F2 race was chaotic, and it was a similar breed of what we see here tonight in F3. So I'm very excited to see what could happen. Could be mixed weather. We're on a random destination for that weather, so I'm really excited for another 26 laps of action.
And me, it's Silverstone. It's what, even though I'm not racing, it's still my home race. It's a race that everybody loves. You know, the Great Britain Grand Prix. It's always got something packed up ready. So yeah, I think we're gonna have a bit of an interesting one. Obviously, we haven't got Yona here, the championship leader. We haven't got Jake either. So it's all open doors for Flourish really. If you can get yourself, I think it's 7th or higher, he can get himself back into that championship charge, which is what he wants. He's not actually in the lobby at the moment, so let's hope he actually does
Yeah.
arrive.
But
So yeah,
it says restarting the game. A couple of them having to restart it, just looking up at the Discord. So that's going to delay proceedings just a little bit. But yeah, looking at the film we got tonight, new returnees as well coming back into it after a couple of races off, as we were talking about.
yeah,
And hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to see a very entertaining race because
definitely.
it's the last one for Christmas. So if you think about it, the drivers have had 2 weeks off since the last one in Monaco.
Yeah.
Then they're going to have a further 2 weeks off for Christmas. And then when we come back, it's a 5-race sprint to the end of the year. And it's going to be dramatic to see who could take the title.
Yeah, and also for me, it's quite a shame actually because me and you we started commentary. I think it was around March time this year, so this will be the final time this year that we commentated, and this was our first year we commentated as well. So we'll be going into next year, and hopefully, things get even better.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because I sent a message actually to our head of comms, Jess, saying, "Well, just thanks for the year, basically." And it's weird to say it's been a year because it feels a lot longer.
It does.
We've done 3 seasons. Well, I've done 3. You've done 2.5, haven't you? But technically, you did 3. We'll just call it for even's sake. So we've done 3 seasons in the space of a year. That's fantastic. And now we're going to do a further 2.5 in the next generation as well when we go back into, we could do another 2 seasons, I reckon, of the F122 game. Then we've got another season of the F123 game to come through as well. So there's a lot to go forward with it.
There is.
So I'm really excited to see where we could go for the remainder. And halfway through this championship, and it's been non-stop. 4 different winners, 5 different races so far. And qualifying, I think, is getting underway.
It is.
In about 5 seconds' time. That's caught me by surprise, but I can hear the ticking in my ears. So
Same
you
as
had
me.
some stats, didn't you want to ask me?
Yes, I did. Hang on, let me find them. I'll put us onto the main screen, and then I'll find the 3 questions I've got for you. Oh, wrong app. Off. Look at the wrong thing. Right, there we go. Hang on. So I took a picture of it on my phone because I can't get the Word document upon the computer as well. I haven't got that many screens. Right. Here we go. So the first question is, so during the 1950 Grand Prix, which animal did Reg Parnell hit?
Is it multiple choice, or have I got a guess?
You've got a guess.
Okay. Silverstone.
I'll give you a multiple choice. A rabbit, a hare, or a squirrel.
Was it a hare?
Yes.
So
first question correct. Second question. At the 2008 British Grand Prix, how many seconds was Hamilton ahead of his teammate? At the end.
At the end, because Kovalainen didn't finish second that race, did he? So Kovalainen had a bit of a pull on. Yeah, Hamilton won. Kovalainen was not second, as far as I can remember.
No, he wasn't. Have a guess how many seconds behind. I'll give you a clue. It was more than 30.
Was it around about 53 seconds?
No,
like
68.
68? Blimey,
Yep.
way more than
And then
I thought.
the final question before we get going. What corner did the 11-car pile-up occur when the incident was caused by Jody Scheckter?
Oh,
what corner?
It was at Beckett's, wasn't it? Into
No,
Chapel.
it was Woodcote.
Oh, yeah, Jody Scheckter's lost it. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking of the wet race back in 77. But you're right, Jody Scheckter's lost it. And the massive pile up at Woodcut that blocked the track, brought out the red flag. And I can't remember who it was at the moment, but somebody couldn't race in Formula One again because they broke their ankle quite badly and could never actually drive again.
Well, that was one of the questions, but I didn't write it down. Also, Josh, if you can look in the chat before I say my ritual, please let me know if there's any issues with the sound, and let me know if I'm too quiet, too loud, and if the game's too quiet, too loud. And I've still got the issues with the sound. I've actually deleted the game today, reinstalled it, and changed nothing. But Josh, would you like to go for the first lap round here with Jeremy?
Absolutely. Where are we? Jeremy's in P8. I'll get on board with him now, and he's coming into the last couple of corners as well. Club corner, quick to the right as well, and then blast off down the start-finish straight. Okay, 8th gear maximum. Drop down to 7th if you feel up for it, but you can carry the speed through Abbey. Little kick through Farm Curve as well. Then your first heavy braking spot into Village. Drop down, 4th gear corner. Then the 2 double lefts as well. The loop, the tightest corner at Silverstone, opens up then to Aintree, and you can open up the DRS. Jeremy had a little bit of a wiggle there as well, coming on to the Wellington Straight. There's the BRDC Clubhouse next to Brooklands. You fly down 5th gear, down to 4th mid-corner, double apex, into Luffield as well, into a double apex right. Gently on the throttle of the exit as you go past the national pit lane as well. Cut the inside line coming through Woodcut and head down towards Cops Corner. Usually you can take it flat out, but Jeremy's done what I did. Drop down to 7th gear, allows you to get better momentum and better grip through the corners. Maggots is flat out as well. Don't even think about braking till you hit Beckett's now. Drop down into 6th gear. Flip the car in as well into 5th again as you come down into Chapel. Down the hangar straight with the DRS open. Back up to 8th gear. Stowe School is literally right behind those trees in the distance. Slam on the brakes as well, down to 6th gear. Control the wheel spin as you head downhill into a little bit of a gully before you enter the Vale chicane. Drop down into 4th gear, flick the car in, then back on the accelerator, 5th gear automatically, carry the speed, coming through into Club at the turn 18, past the hotel, across the line to 1:26.794 for the opening lap time.
It was a nice lap from Jeremy, and we can see Bogdan goes second with a 27 flat. But I can see he had a few twitches around the track, especially coming into Stowe. He had a twitch going in on the exit of Club, a big twitch there, and also a big twitch going into Aintree. So there's definitely time to be improved, and Lefty's proven that, as he's gone 2/10 quicker than him with a 26.5. Leroy Brown with a 26.4, making his first appearance here in F3. And it's his first appearance in PSGL since the end of last season, where he took the championship trophy in PCF4. It was a nice battle, wasn't it? And it was actually around here, wasn't it? Between Harvey Cohen, Bogdan Moldovan, and Leroy Brown.
It was a very entertaining Silverstone.
It was. And this time, Bogdan and Leroy are first and last. Cameron Dowes goes second as well with a 26.489. And another bit of information for you all. If Cameron finishes in the points today, he will take his point streak to 17, if I remember that correctly. And also, if he gets more than 2 points, he'll go up to third in the championship, no matter what. So it's looking good for Cameron. He's very consistent. He isn't always the quickest guy on track, but I think he's proven for us this season and last season that consistency is very much key here in PSGL.
It really is as well. Got to maintain your composure as well. And Cameron's done brilliantly. I think the best of anyone with the crossover from Formula 4 to Formula 3 as Zoltan Boda crosses the line and goes up into 9th position as well with a 1:26.768.
Yeah, and but yeah, nice for him to see Leroy on that provisional pole position. Floris Wires currently looking to fight for the championship here today and take that championship lead, is in third. If he was to finish third, that would be enough for him to move up into first, but I'm sure that he wants to finish on first. I'm sure Floris was the one who said that this was his worst track, so yeah, it's, you know, considering he's P3 on his worst track, it's not bad for him at all. Yeltsin, who's made his debut in Canada, he's had pretty good qualifying sessions in both Canada and in Monaco, but unfortunately, his points and results haven't shown for it. He finished, I think, it was 8th in Canada. I think it was about 5th in Monaco. So, you know, he's definitely got to apply more to his qualifying form to convert it into the race.
Absolutely as well, and we've just seen Flores Suarez come into the pit lane. He's in third position at the moment. Jack Humphreys is in there as well. He was on a medium compound tyre in the lap time he's done, but most of the field now entering pit lane. But it is still Zoltan Boda just coming into Stowe, who is on a lap time, but I'm expecting him to dive into the pit lane and does so. So it's Tom Martinez, I think, is on a slow lap too. Yes, he is. 3 seconds off in the first sector. So everybody now not setting a competitive lap time.
It was nice from Jeremy in Monaco. He finished second. That was really nice to see him up on that podium position. We don't really see much of Jeremy here in F3, so that podium was definitely something you'll remember. And it'll be nice if you can convert this race into some good points as well, possibly in that top 6 or top 7. Obviously, Leroy Brown, now he's here, he's definitely going to be posing a bit of a threat. He's got nothing to lose. He's not fighting for a championship at all. So he's definitely going to be pushing to his limits. So the question is, obviously going into season 33, is Leroy Brown going to be a contender? Because obviously I assume we'll see him in more races at the end of this season, and then we'll be able to determine Leroy, he's definitely up there and he can fight for these championships. But obviously with his PC issues that he's experienced over these last few weeks, obviously not being able to attend any races. But finally, they're working. Let's just hope his PC doesn't die halfway through the race. As we're on board. Carry on.
Yeah. So thanks. I think these next couple of races as well for Leroy, they're going to be a lot about testing to get used to this new F3 league, testing to get back into competitiveness as well, and going forward into season 33 to be a more competitive driver. Then you can start looking at progression up to F2 and of course F1, which returns in January as well. We've got apparently something else going on before F1 returns, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. But back to the F3 stuff. Leonard and Jan both joined after round 3 as they got promoted from F4. And the thing is, they've both won a race. Leonard won Monaco. Jan, I think, won Canada. So these two have come out of F4 and they've posed a real threat to some of these drivers, such as Floris and Jake, who are currently up there in the standings. Jan goes quickest in that first sector and puts him into the pebble sector, and he's now going to be pushing to try and get himself into that top. I definitely think a top 3 is possible from Jan. He's one of the quickest drivers here in F3. And obviously, he hasn't got Yona here today, so that's one contender ticked off the list. So we've just got to focus on the likes of Leroy Brown and Floris Fires. Nice from Cameron as well to be up in that P2. If he was to qualify P2, it would be his best qualifying position this season. So he's really looking good this race.
Yeah, just 6 thousandths of a second, or 60 thousandths of a second separating Leroy and Cameron down. So that's 600ths, of a second. At the top, Jeremy's gone into P2 now and taken a 126.474. That's looking good, but Jan Halliday's looking incredibly quick now as well. Out of the last corner of Club, across the line, 9th to 7th. Okay, 126.6. 3.5. Fastest lap we saw last night, Rich, in qualifying for the F2, a 126.08. So we're currently 4 tenths off that. We've got 8 minutes to go.
And I'm sure that the quickest time in F4, was a 26.358. So yeah, there's definitely still a 10th off it. Lefted actually gets quicker than the F4 time with a 3.46. So currently a 10th ahead of Leroy Brown. We'll actually go to Leroy Brown as he's on a lap. And he's coming through Max and Beckett now. Let's see if he can take that first position back off of Lefted and put himself onto the front of that front row. He's currently quickest in sector 2. Half a tenth quicker through that middle sector. In towards Stone Out. You can see brakes a little bit late. Turns the car in nicely. Wants to get on the power nice and early. As he charges down towards the Vale chicane. A very tricky chicane. One of the most tricky corners on the track. And you can see it's very difficult. You've got to get the power nice and early to go through Club. Which he does. Let's see. Does he improve? He does, but not enough to get into that first position. He's 500ths off Lefted on his lap time. So at least he's extending his gap to P3 and beyond. We'll look at Cameron Dowds now as he's coming through, and he's not on lap, he's on a 4-minute lap. So we'll go to Floris. 600ths up in that first sector. He's now coming into Max and Beckett himself. And let's see, he's fighting for the championship. He's got to be better than 5th. He definitely wants to be better than 5th. So let's see, is Floris able to improve in that middle sector? Yes, he does by over 10th. Takes the middle fastest sector. A 10th would be enough to just about put him into that first position by about about 10 thousandths over left. Let's see now as he comes into Stowe, goes a little bit wide on the exit. Luckily doesn't invalidate. Into Vale now, breaks at the 50-metre board, turns it nice. A little bit of a deep braking zone there, and he gets the penalty early. Can he improve? Out of club now, on the straight, and he goes up to P3. Improves by only a tenth. It seems a lot of drivers are losing time in that final sector.
So it's looking good that they're remaining on the same pace as what we saw of the F2 yesterday. It was a 1:26.025 the pole time yesterday as well in the dying seconds of qualifying when the track was at its best. So we're about 3 tenths away from that. But if you look, yesterday in F2, everybody was separated by round about a second. And that's the same here. Lefton's on 1:26.3 and Duzvan's on a 1:27.1. So there's about 8 to 9 tenths between the field, which is still good. Very good.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm sure Yerne can possibly get himself into them 26s pretty easily. Also, it's a shame we can see Vincent and Fionn down there because they've had pretty good qualifying performances. The Hassies have this season. Obviously, they've both come up from F5, so they've improved by 2 tiers, which is a lot. So, and considering how their performance has been in the first 5 rounds, it's a chance to see them down in 16th and 18th. Let's watch Cameron Dowds now. He comes up to the line, goes first for Cameron Dowds by nearly a tenth. That's about, what, 600ths of a second with a 26.277. Very nice lap from Cameron. And we'll go to Marcus Tula now, who hasn't drove this season. So it's our first time seeing him in the seat of one of the Formula 3 PSGL cars. And he's now coming into the exit of Woodcote. And he's currently replacing Jona Martins, who's got a race ban, for anyone that didn't know, due to his deliberate spins and his deliberate crash down at Turn 1 in Monaco. But Marcus now coming through that middle sector.
Oh, he had to downshift midway through Maggots as well. It's Mayev. He hit it on the rev limiter, and that's it compromised him at the exit of Beckett's. And Anita Chappell had to take the grass as well, so he's going to lose time there. In towards Stowe. What does he do? Stays 8th gear, drops down all the way to 5th, carries a bit of speed, a little bit okay on the brakes, good on the power. It's looking very good. Downshifting's a bit chaotic. Doesn't know what gear he wants to be in.
No, as he comes into the final corner, does he improve? Well, he doesn't improve because he didn't set time, but he sets 26.7, which is quicker than Philip Waters, Vincent, Jack, Fionn, and Nerne. So they'll definitely be looking to get some better times on the board. Harlem, currently 14th. I think this might be the first time this season he'll be out qualified. Bogdan Moldovan. Bogdan down in 12th, which is definitely not what he wants. But it's nice to see the likes of Jeremy. We've got Lefty in the top 2. We've got Cameron on 1st. We've got Tom in the top 10. We've got Curry in 11th. So there's been a bit of a throw around today. Bit of throw with the dice on where the drivers are on the grid. Obviously, we've still got 4 minutes left, so we'll be able to see what the drivers really produce in their final laps. But sometimes, a lot of drivers' laps can be done in that first half of the session. Some of them don't run a last lap, or some of them don't even improve on anything. So, it still counts really where you are now, as anyone can lose time and anyone can DNF or whatever and invalidate their lap times on the final run. Because that's where you're most under pressure. That's where you're pushing the car, to its maximum limits. Yes, you're pushing now, but drivers will have that more. They'll have more in them in that final lap. I don't know how to explain it, but I know what I mean when I say it. Do you get what I mean, Josh?
I get what you mean. Have you had a bit of a Moeism there?
Maybe I have. Not going to say it's a good or a bad thing.
I think that's a very good thing at Silverstone. It's nearly Christmas, but it's all going well. Dizman is on the lap time, though. If I can get to him, he's down in 19th now.
Yep.
So who improved? It's Leonard up to 14th, I think, who improved. Who bumped it down? Or is it Phil Mickey who's just gone into 11th?
He's going into 11th, yeah.
Yeah.
And Yerne's 4 tenths down is invalidated. And the issue is, like I said to you earlier before the broadcast, Josh, Alpine have not the best season. They're on 0 points and currently they're qualifying 19th and 20th, which is definitely not ideal. And qualifying down there, it's going to be very difficult to get yourself into that top 10 because it's a track that's good for overtaking, but to get 10 positions when you're not the quickest driver, that's difficult.
I'm very surprised, to be fair. I'm incredibly surprised at the lack of pace that the Alpines had this season. I'm surprised from Dizvan that he's going to be able to find something, of course. And I'm disappointed in Jack Humphries because I thought he did quite well last year
Yep.
in F4.
Well, the only memorable mention of Jack Humphries was when he was riding Yona Martins in Spain at the exit of the chicane. And apart from that, we haven't heard anything from Jack, so maybe that scarred him for life a little bit, that moment in Spain.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had to attend counselling for that as well.
Well,
Apparently,
I certainly would.
He went to the same shrink Charles Leclerc did when Fernando Alonso did it to him back in 2018 Belgium. But yeah, quite something, that one.
It was.
Nearly happened last night. We had a forced entry and
Oh.
the exit of where was it? Cops Corner into Maggots and Beckett's.
Oh, well, that's not
I mean,
ideal.
yeah, it did send Luke laughing though in the commentary box as well, because before the race broadcast we discussed if that happened because we were just discussing about the clip in Spain. So we were quite happy we got that moment.
Beyond retired in the pits. And Ron Ball with Tom Martinez now, currently 10th. Or is it called? Should we call him Tom Martinez, or should we call him just 97 for the fun of it?
The 97. Yeah, I like 97. 97 sounds good. It's like a NASCAR terminology, isn't it?
Well,
when you hear Dale Earnhardt Jr. going, is the 88 up there?
And the 97 has invalidated down at Cops. Who should we go on board with, Josh? You pick.
I want to look at Cameron. I've got to say, he's up by 2/10 as well in the first sector. He's just on a 1:26.277. And what's coming on? Come on, what have we got for us, Cameron, as he comes in towards Brooklands? And he's up by 55 hundredths of a second. So Cameron Downs looks to be taking his first pole position in F3.
Yeah, it's really good for Cameron. And I'm trying to get the telemetry on. There we go. Is he into 8th gear shortly? Question is, does he shift down 7th when he goes into Cops? Let's have a look. Yes, he does. He shifts down, then gets straight on the power, 278 kilometres through Cops. And now he's into the final. I'd say this is one of the most difficult parts because, you know, it's quite an easy corner to take, but you've got to be able to carry the speed through.
Look at Jack Humphries. He's just shot up to 8th position on 1:26.567. And Duzvan starts last, so the Alpine of Jack Humphries must have been listening to the commentary. He's just
Sorry, second.
Yeah, 1:26.327.
Oh
no, Cameron! He's Verstappened it!
But we got Leroy Brown. He's actually up by 10th in that middle sector. He's coming into the stone out as he passes Cameron into Club and into Vale and Club. Let's see, can he take pole on his first race here in PC F3? Leroy Brown comes up towards the line now. Where does he go? And he stays 4th.
Oh,
Leonard 4th.
Left it 3rd. Left it takes 3rd.
Jeremy's up as well.
5th.
He's by 10th.
This could be good actually. This could be Jeremy Pole if he got the speed through Vale.
Let's see. Into the final corner, into Vale. Now into Club. Could Jeremy take pole from Cameron Dowds? No, he can't. Cameron Dowds takes pole.
Amazing! Absolutely amazing! Despite a spin, he's on pole position. He has done the Max Verstappen at Silverstone, spinning at the exit of Stowe, 360'd, and still gets pole position. There is no stopping Cameron Downs.
Now, Josh, if I was to say to you, the front row will be Cameron Dowds and Jeremy, would you believe me?
No, I wouldn't. I would think you've been on the eggnog.
But it's here in plain sight. Cameron Dowds takes his first pole of the season. And Josh, can you look in the chat? Because I want to see what Cameron's dad's saying, because I can't imagine how happy he is right now for him and Cameron.
Read my mind, that's where I am. Cameron's dad, yes, my boy, yes, he says as well. Well done, Cameron's dad.
What a qualifying session that was. But Bogdan Moldovan, 7th.
5-place grid penalty as well for illegal blocking.
The question is now, I'm thinking, with Cameron's, because I'm just waiting for Tom and Vincent to pit, then it'll end, there we go. And the question is, do we have a restart because of Bogdan's incident? Because he already crossed the line by the time he got his penalty. So will we have to restart because he got that 5th place, which is stupid because he already crossed the line. But yeah, Cameron Dowds, the Scotsman, takes pole here in Silverstone. I could arguably say it's his home race. Some Scottish people will be very annoyed, but some will be happy. And then Jeremy takes 2nd, and Floris Wyers, the person trying for the championship, on the 2nd row. That's not what he wants.
You might need to take a quick go through the because they might need these results to set the grid. So you
Ah,
might want to quickly pop
Yep.
them,
So
go
Cameron,
through them all.
Jeremy, Floris, Lefted, Leonard, Leroy, Bogdan, Sergio, Daniel, and Marcus take out the top 10, followed by Jack, Harlem, Zoltan, Corey, Jan, Tom, Theon, Vincent, Philip, and Journey down in 20th. But yeah, it depends if Bogdan actually does get the fight. Oh, it's 10 positions, sorry, that he's got. So it said times 2 plus 10. So I presume that'll mean he'll start 17th, which he doesn't want.
Because
this time,
it's going to be a restart. Yeah, it's going to be a restart.
If they said.
Yeah, the checker flag was. Yeah, well, I said. Bogdan says he has proof. I was on my stream. I was not driving. I just said I could confirm he wasn't driving. Check flag was on the timing tower because we were surprised why that happened. So it is going to be a red flag restart.
It is.
Race, yeah. So
right.
this could be taking
Josh,
time.
Back to the camera screens in just a second when I can get them sorted out because this wasn't part of the plan. And right, let's find it.
It wasn't. No. And that means we've also got to get into a new lobby as well and find out how to do all that. So we've got to quit to the main menu as well. So this could get entertaining for everyone.
I'll play the GT Omega ad in a bit. But I'm going to say now, I'm going to chuck a bit of verbal promotion out there. Obviously, if people are looking for some last-minute Christmas presents, because, most of us men, we all end up forgetting Christmas presents all the last minute. I think we're all guilty of it. And you want to get a quick thing, make sure to check out GT Omega for their amazing chairs. High quality. Nothing really else to say. I can sit in here all day in it, and I've not got a sore back, which I would with my old chair. But yeah, you get 5% off with the PSGL discount code, PSGL, and you get 5% off. And it's a win-win situation because you help us out, PSGL, you help yourself out because you get some discount, and you also help GT Omega out because you're buying their products. So, you don't really lose anything if you use that 5% discount. If anything, you just help everyone. So, I'm not trying to force you to use it, but go ahead. And we've got a fake race restart here, as we've got the restart. So, yeah, I'm setting that up. Race has started, but yeah, half the people are at the session already. So that's what I'm going to do as well now.
Just looking at the timing tower as well for the F3 general, I should say. Bogdan Moldovan has the best feeling ever as well at the moment as well, and getting a personal best because Jeremy had a personal best in that session as well. Did 0.4s in practice, and I bleeped up so bad. That was from Curry DeBacker. So he was doing 0.4s, didn't do that in quali. So now we've got to find out where is Harlem. I guess is in the lobby, but is that the correct lobby? I presume it is.
Don't know.
So I want to join quickly, so just in case, because then we've got to go stream. Ah, cool.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Cameron on pole. The question is, how will he handle it? Because we've seen him fighting for podiums. He's had, I think, 2 podiums this season already. But starting from pole, you've got more pressure on you because you're at the front. You're leading everyone off. You've got to think, do I try and push the gap out or do I just try and defend? And that's the issue. He's got Jeremy behind. Jeremy started second, I think it was last week in Monaco. So he's already had that experience of being at the front. Cameron really hasn't got that experience of being on the front row. He's got Floris behind as well. Floris is going to be a big threat because, Floris pushes hard and he wants to push hard. He wants to get himself back onto the top of that championship. He has to finish 6 points ahead of Jona, which is possible. Very possible for Floris. But he's starting third. But, you want to win. You don't want to just settle for third. You want to settle for a win. If Floris does win, he'll be the second driver this season to get 2 wins. But if Leonard was to win, he'd be the second driver to get back-to-back wins, as Jona took back-to-back wins in round 2 and 3. Bahrain and where was round 3? Zandvoort. That was it.
Zandvoort, Netherlands, yeah.
And
the race that almost tore up the F3 season, as it always does.
Oh, drama time. Right. Round 5 Monaco. As everyone saw, Jona did spin deliberately. Not going to comment on it. And he did also, likely, he deliberately went into turn 1 on purpose. Obviously, I haven't really read through what went on, but from what I saw in the chat, it was very, very hectic. Obviously, he's got himself a race ban, which isn't ideal. Some people would argue that's not fair. Some people would argue that's fair. That's up to you to decide. But yeah, it's not what he wants, especially when he's fighting for the championship. He's going to have more pressure on him going into the next round. If Floris was to win this, Floris would be leading by 10 points, which is a lot. Which means in order...
Yeah, I was gonna say I was really enjoyed the fact that Krypton won the Villain of the Year for the stewards' decisions
Yeah.
as well. I think that was really
Mhm.
on point.
And definitely,
Unfortunately, as well for him.
definitely well deserved for George and Jack. George and Jack, I think it was,
Oh
who
yeah.
won the commentators duo. I was actually very glad to be nominated. Didn't think I would, and I don't think Josh thought we would
Oh,
either. I
I
messaged him
didn't
when I
know.
saw it. I was like, Josh, you've been nominated for an award, and he's like, what? And yeah,
I
he
was like,
was.
are you sure? For
And
us,
and the thing
first
is, I knew we wasn't going to win it. You know, when you got people like George Morgan in the box, but it's the fact we got nominated. You know, maybe one year it will be our turn. We've got next year, then we've got possibly many more years to come. Hopefully,
hopefully.
as long
I'm
as we
not
don't
planning
get
on going yet.
sacked.
If we
But
do get sacked, I'd just pop off to Amazon and create a grand tour or something like that.
you could do join Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah, although he's in hot water at the moment as well. So
True, he is.
I,
So
I, I I actually quite like the current Top Gear team. Actually, I don't. They're not a patch on Clark's Hammer to me, but they are actually a very good team.
see, I think
Yeah, I
the
love them.
thing is, I think the new guys do more interesting things, but the old ones
Yeah,
were just they were idols of it. You know, you can't ever replace them three at all.
yeah. I think modern Top Gear with Paddy, Andrew Flintoff or Freddie Flintoff, and Chris Harris. That's become the more a cross between car reviews and messing about.
Yeah,
Whereas the Grand Tour has now just become messing about on big
yeah.
adventures. So that's become entertainment, whereas
Mhm.
Top Gear stayed factual entertainment. So it's kind of both I like.
Yeah.
So it's the best of both worlds. But Richie, 25 seconds to go
Mhm.
until we get back into the lobby for a race. And you've got the Silverstone start. So I'll
I'm
throw it back over to
excited.
you.
Well, I could say I'm excited, but I'm also worried because last time we saw a start in Silverstone, Guan Yu Show was upside down in the wall.
Yes.
So let's hope that doesn't happen here. And the thing is, I wouldn't be surprised with this game if it does, because it's F1
Neither would I.
22. It throws everything at
Well,
us.
yesterday.
And
Yeah,
the thing is, that's
yesterday
not
was
just the
extremely frustrating.
drivers; that's the game itself. So
Yesterday
it
in
could be
F2
interesting.
was
Mhm.
spinning drama action nonetheless. So let's going to see what happens today.
And
27 seconds.
it's dry, which in
Yeah.
my eyes is good, because I still stand to my point that wet races are bad. Because I will void Canada because
Yeah,
Canada was
yeah.
dry and wet. It wasn't fully wet, so you know. Whereas
Blue
Silverstone fully
sky
wet wouldn't be good at all.
smiling at me. Nothing but blue skies.
I don't know
Going
that
through.
song, so does that mean you're
Anyway,
old?
yes, I am. Here's
And
the
we're getting
lights.
ready. So we can see the track in a second. We see Cameron Dave's on up a pole, followed by Jeremy. As you have 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's lights out for the British Grand Prix, and Cameron has a pretty good start, but Jeremy gets a better start. Going into turn one, Flores wires up through the middle of them. Into turn one, they go 3 wide. Cameron drops down to third. Flores takes the lead in turn one, and Jeremy's still going to be putting pressure on him into turn 3. And we've also got Lefted there going a little bit wide. Trying to overtake, I think it was Bogdan, who had a really good start, and he's now currently in 6th. He's also being pressured by Marcus, who's after Leroy Brown, going into Aintree.
Cameron's trying to keep into third position with Jeremy's lost it. So from pole down to 4th. Now under pressure from Lefton as well. Leonard's up there. Timing tower's going mad on my side. Corey de Back is out of the race according to my monitor. Vincent's got a 3-second time penalty and it's all called off for the virtual safety car.
Well, that's anticlimactic.
It's full safety car now. They've had to deploy the full one.
Well,
It's happened again at Silverstone.
that was a really good start, though. Flores up the inside. I mean, not sorry, through the middle. I didn't expect that at all. I look 1 minute, it's like, right, Jeremy's got a really good start. He's going to get Cameron into turn 1. Then next minute, there's a Red Bull saying, hello, I'm here as well. And it's like, oh no, what's going to happen here? And they actually make it clean. So, well done to him. Obviously, Leonard got past Cameron before the safety car came out. So, Cameron's down to 4th. So, it's not been the best start for him, but he's had all that pressure. He's a 13-year-old starting on pole. You've got to give it to him. You know, pressure's going to get to him someday. So, you know, it's a shame for him, but he's still in that top 4. And he's dropped a position again. What's going on here? No, sorry, Lefty's pitted along with Leroy Brown.
So they've cut through the corner, yeah.
They must have got damage. Harlem's got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. We'll watch Leroy to see if he's got any damage. As Lefty's going to come into pits as well. Has Leroy got damage? No, he hasn't. He's gone on to softs. Lefty's
So they're
pitting as
taking
well. Lefty, I
alternates.
don't think had damage. Harlem's pitting as well. He's on the hards at once. He's pitting onto softs. He doesn't have
It's all-
damage. Tom doesn't have damage. And
Well,
don't.
if you
Oh.
take a look at the chat here as well, everybody starts on the hards, bar Floris and Marcus. They're all mediums. So everyone who's on the hard tyres to start with have changed their minds, come in and changed over to soft compound tyres. That's Lefted, Leroy Bryan, Harlan Marquez, Tom 97 as well, or the 97 as we like to call it now. So them four are going to be mighty when this race restarts, hopefully at the end of the next lap.
I'm very confused why they picked, because from what I see, no one had damage. There might be, there might have been an issue with the screen, but from what I saw, no one had damage at all. So why opt for the softs? It seems a bit odd to me, because it seems to me, why would Leroy and Lefty lose 10 positions for the sake of having better tyres for 6 or 7 laps? So it's a bit of an odd decision.
Yeah.
But
unless it's rain, but it's bright sunshine, so no.
We'll have to see, but I doubt it. I doubt there'll be rain. Floris obviously starting on the mediums. He got a good start, and I think he's happy with that now, because as long as he can pull a gap on Jeremy, which I think he can do, then when he pits onto those hards, he'll have maybe already that 1 second gap to Jeremy already. Because, Floris, he's a lot quicker than most of the drivers on the grid. You can't deny that. It's facts. So he will probably pull out a 1 second gap on Jeremy unless Jeremy has lots of pace to give, which is always possible. I'm not trying to deny Jeremy's performance, but I'm just looking at previous races and chucking the data together.
Yeah,
Leonard.
Once Floris hits the front,
yeah, he's fine. He's flying.
He just goes for it as well. And 2 more into the what's happening here? What's happening in the midfield?
More pitting. 4 more pitting. Oh, no. There must have been a lobby issue. They're all pitting again.
Oh, no. Is this going to be a red flag?
I can't see it being a red flag, but they're all pitting again. Yes, they are. Let's see what they pit onto. So, lefted onto hards. Tom and Leroy. Yeah, they're all going onto hard tyres. So there must have been an issue there. So we was right, Josh. There would be no reason for them to go onto the hards. Harlem's serving his penalty.
He can't do that under the safety car.
He can, because it was a speeding penalty, so he served it under the safety car. And now he's back onto the hards. So that was odd.
Let's have a look coming out of the pit lane. You are correct, I believe, yeah. So I'm thinking, because this race you still required to use a different compound, they've gone on to the softs.
Oh, to go to the end.
To go to the end on a set of hards. So that's something that's crossed my mind, whether they're planning on doing that, because you still have to use 2 tyre compounds. So under the safety car, sacrifice track position, but have hard tyres that can and will go 26 laps. Whereas everybody else ahead of them has to stop. And
you know what?
Floris and Marcus on mediums.
That's clever. Very clever.
Very good.
Most people in here in F3, they'll probably have an engineer. If anyone's engineers in the chat, if you don't mind sharing the information, tell us.
Yeah,
is this done purposely? I'm not saying they would. I'm not saying you're going to tell us because you probably won't. But, if you don't mind sharing a little bit of information, let us know. Because if they are, that would make it even more interesting, because you've got people pitting onto hards, people pitting onto mediums, then people saying out. Also, Josh, take it away. Safety cars in this lap.
This is going to be a lot of entertainment then. Floris Wires then, who has not stopped on the medium compound. How big of a gap can he take? Will there be another safety car to try and put him back through? Curry back is out of the race then, so we're down to 19. They're all coming down the hangar straight, looking okay. Wentz-Floyd's going to hit the accelerator. I would personally do it at the exit of Vale. Anything other than that, you're just wasting tyre temperature. Hasn't hit the gas yet. He's still at 120 kph. Now he's hit it coming into Vale. It's caught a few of them by surprise, but Jeremy's going to be hopefully right in the back. And we are back. Green flag. Race on again at Silverstone. Forrest takes the lead. Gets out front. Already gets an 8/10 gap to Jeremy. Leonard's in 3rd position as well. Looking okay to me so far. No one is looking to make a move into the first couple of corners. It's very much spread out, and that's a bit of a disappointment. But then again, at Silverstone, it is very, very hard to overtake. And as Murray Walker would say, catching is one thing, passing is quite another. As Sergio Sabrino, I think, is trying to go side by side with Bogdan Moldovan. Down is in fifth position. Who's got the inside lane coming down the Wellington Straight towards Brooklands on the inside line. He's going to send it through. Bogdan's on the outside line. Sergio's on the inside. Here comes Marcus. Trying looking around the outside line. They still hold it together. Coming through Larfield into Woodcote now as well. And now Sergio's going to be on the outside. Bogdan, he's going to have to get a better exit. Try and shut the door. Hasn't done that. How much room is Sergio going to give him coming through the corner? They don't touch. They still stay side by side. They do go a little bit wide, but Sergio's through.
What an absolute battle between these two there. Between those two there. That was top notch. Let's see if Sergio submits that for overtake of the week too. I think it's Veloce, because that will definitely get yourself up there. That was amazing. We've also got Yeltsin on the back of Jack Humphries now coming down the Hanger Straight in towards Stowe. And does he make a move? No, he doesn't. It's too far back, but he did gain to a good 10th and a half. But yeah, Bogdan, he's had a pretty good... He had a good restart, but I think Sergio was just quicker than him in general. Yeltsin round the outside, up the inside into towards Club. Very nice from Yeltsin. Takes the position from Jack. He'll now be charging after Marcus. Floris takes a fastest slab. Obviously, he's on the medium, so it'll be quicker. But look at the gap between Floris and Jeremy. 2.2 seconds already, which is a lot.
Medium compound tyres plus... once he's out front, he can have an escape. Looking good to me. Marcus dives up the inside of Bogdan. Sorry, just to cut across here myself, but coming through the part of the track, he's got through. So Moldovan's down into 7th position. And Jensen's looking absolutely fantastic. Once again, like we said back in Canada, he's got the bit between his teeth after not taking the victory. He's on course for a great race here.
He is. And also talking about Bogdan again, I think it was more of a when, not an if, with Marcus getting past. Marcus is on the better tyres. You know, I think Floris has proven those mediums are a lot quicker than the hards. So that now brings me to the question. Maybe I do think some of these guys are going to try and get to the end, because 24 laps on hards is possible. The question is, that I think the pit stop range is about 25 seconds. Can they make sure they don't lose 25 seconds worth of time? That's the key thing. We're going to look at Vincent. He's about to get past, well, trying to get past Jan into Stowe. And Jan's down in 14th. He was one of the guys who did that alternate strategy. So he's leading their little train. And Jan's got up the inside of Yernay. Has to back out. Yernay keeps the position. He's also going to go up the inside into Club and gets past Yernay. Really nice move there from Jan. Puts himself up into 13th. And the question is, when does Vincent try and get past Yernay? Because he's also right on the back. And I'm sure he'll be urging to get that position off of Yernay.
Vincent's going to be right on it as well, trying to find a way through. The Haas looks to the outside, trying to tee something up, coming out of the loop into Aintree, then down the Wellington Straight once again. Can Vincent get on the power? DRS active for the first time in this race today. Pulls to the inside line as well. Look at the grunt of that engine. And he's still side by side. Will have to control of the outline. Can he shut the door? Duzman's going to stay on the inside line. They're so close to contact between them as well. Wheel to wheel at Silverstone as they head. And Duzman stays ahead. Nyquist can't get anything as well. Down to 15th.
Very nice defence from Yernay there. Absolutely top notch. Oh, and Vincent's round! He's in the wall!
Oh, too much curb! Touching the back and just lost it into the wall. And it's the full safety car again.
Great. At least we know this time the safety car's on.
Well,
because in Monaco...
Yeah.
In Monaco we had none. And now in 6 laps we've had 2 safety cars here in F3. In round 6. Floris is going for the... I'd say that's technically alternate, but with the way the safety cars panned out, I wouldn't say it is. Marcus is also pitting, that's wise. But yeah, this is going to be interesting now. We've got Floris and Marcus pitting. We've got the guys who pitted after the first safety car. We've got the people still on the hards. We've got countless strategies going on here. So the question is, what strategy is going to come out on top?
Those who can get the latest stop to the hard compound tyre, it seems. Philip Walters got onto medium.
And Journey.
So is Guzman. Yeah, that's a surprise.
And Fionn.
Whoa, ho, ho.
So there's more and more and more strategy going on. Leonard's let Jeremy Matt through. I think he passed him by accident. But yeah, didn't think I'd say for the first time, Jeremy's leading the race.
I think I know we're close to Christmas, but it feels like one of those wacky holiday specials where nothing's actually canon.
Yeah, because if we If we ignore pit stops, we've got Flores in 14th. We've got Jeremy in 1st. We've got, Bogdan in 5th. Leroy in 11th. Leroy's made his first appearance. We've got Harlem down in 13th, which is usually quite low for him. Jan's in 9th. Daniel's in 6th. I would have expected him to be in that top 4. So yeah, we have had a bit of a throw around, really, haven't we, this race? Which is nice.
Yeah.
Because it shows we've got that high level competition. I would say if we ignore F2, F3 probably got the best competitiveness, and I think arguably sometimes had the better competitiveness than F2. It just depends on the race.
Yeah, Yona Martins just said in the YouTube chat as well, they can do 14 laps on mediums. So where does that take us to? The end of the race, just about, right?
14 and 7 is 21.
Oof.
So it's going to be, if they want to get mediums to the end, that's going to be a very, very, very big stretch.
They're counting on the safety car lasting another 2 laps, and it's not going to, because the field's closing up to less than 10 seconds.
The question is, do mediums last 14 laps, or is it like they're on their last legs after 14 laps? Because if it's just on a normal stint, they'll do 14, then they can get to the end. But if they're on their last legs by lap, with their 14th lap, then the chance of getting to lap 26 are very, very unlikely, unless there's another safety car where they can pit again on softs near the end of the race.
A late safety car would be the best thing for everybody here. Because at the moment, I don't think anybody can make it to the end of the race.
No. Actually, I think the Hards might be able to. Flores and Marcus.
Maybe.
And possibly Lefted and Leroy if they push it. But the guys, obviously, first to 8 have to pit because it's the rules. Corey back is after session because he's DNF. That's a big shame for Corey. I don't actually know what happened. I think he made contact with Vincent. So, Corey, and if that's the case, then I'm sure Corey will be quite happy that Vincent DNF'd.
Nothing at the moment in the F3 General that I've got to open up in the comms box as well. So, if there is, I'll let you know. It's possible trust, says Fergs as well.
This has been a quite interesting race. We've only had 4 racing laps, but it's been interesting. Jan and Lefty having a little fight there on the safety car. But yeah, that first lap was probably one of the best first laps of the season. Because most of them have been a little bit boring, haven't they, really, the first few laps? Whereas here we've had battling the whole way.
As Alex Shake says, the British Grand Prix is only available via box office.
Well, if you could say YouTube is box office, then yes.
Well, we've got YouTube Blue, or is it YouTube Red, whatever it is.
One of the two.
I can't remember. Yeah, something pay-per-view. Safety car
safety car's in. Who's going to do the honours this time?
You go.
Oh, right. We get ready. Jeremy's leading the safety car this time. Last time it was Flores. This time it's Jeremy. Was second in the last safety car. This time he's first. Leonard's in second. Cameron is in third. This will be interesting to see what these front guys can do. We'll go on board with Leonard. As we can see, is he able to get past Jeremy on the safety car? Or is he going to stop behind and possibly be under threat from Cameron? As they come out of Stono, where does Jeremy choose to press that throttle down? Hopefully he doesn't spin. We'll watch Jeremy now, and he's gone already. That's very early for Jeremy. He's gone, and he's caught Leonard off guard there. And he's pulled out 7/10, but Leonard's caught it up already coming out of club. But they're off, and there's no move's going to happen. Bogdan's on the back of Sergio Sobrino. That happened last time, but Sergio was able to stretch the gap out. Jan's on the back of Zoltan Boda now, coming in towards turn 3. And apart from that, there's going to be no moves at all. Everyone got a pretty good start. But yeah, Jan's still on the back of Zoltan. We'll keep on Jan for now, just in case he's able to get past Zoltan pretty soon, because look how close he's behind. Zoltan coming out of that aim tree now. He's about 2 tenths behind, but he's got no top speed compared to Zoltan, which is a shame. Sergio Sobrino, going for Cameron Dowd. He's going to go up the inside. Cameron's gone to the outside line into Luffield. And now into Woodcup. These are going to be close between these two. Cameron concedes, but he's still going to fight back now as they come up towards Cops. Let's see. Do they make it out clean? Sergio on the inside. Cameron on the outside. Cameron's going to go round the outside. Tries to get the move. And I think they make a bit of contact. But Cameron still sticking in there now. But concedes position down to 4th. Really nice overtake from Sergio. He did that to Bogdan earlier on. I think it was about lap 3. But Sergio now into the podium positions, which is really nice for him. We're going to watch Floris Fires, who's on the back of Tom Martinez, and Tom's also on the back of Harlem. So we'll go and do Tom as well. Let's see, will both of them get past Harlem pretty soon because they've got better tyres by a long shot.
Yeah,
Floris on the
Harlem
on-two
and
lap hold
Tom-
hards.
Harlem and Tom were battling side by side at the same time. We were watching Cameron and Sergio as well. They too were side by side through Cops, but it's put Harlem ahead of Tom. Flores now late on the brakes, nearly into the back of the Williams, trying to find the space. But Flores on a comeback charge here. He's got the pace. He's done this before. Remember Zandvoort? He can get through to, maybe not Zandvoort, but he can get through to the front quite quickly. Spain, I'm thinking of.
Yeah, definitely not. No, not Spain. No, it was, where was it? Was it Canada? Yeah, Canada.
That's it. What is it? Well, he was doing quite good moves in Zandvoort until he ran into
until turn 1 came, and then he dive bombed.
Here, Richie. Pull the lever, Richie.
Well, Flores won't be happy with me after this.
He's got the ERS, pulls the inside line, and gets ahead of Tom. Brilliant. Is Tom going to get back through on the inside? No.
Oh, he's got to look for it.
Oh, hello.
But Flores cuts him off. So it was a bit of a what's the word? Egotistic? Is that a word? Egotistical, or I'm just making that up?
No, you're right. Egotistical.
Philip Waters up the inside of Tom into Cops, gets past him before Cops, and Tom is still going to try and fight back, which he does. This is amazing racing from Philip and Tom now. In towards Max and Beckett's, and Tom has to let off, knowing that is not the position for him. But Philip, amazing overtake, and that's just showing that how better those medium tyres are. And also, Theon going to go past Tom. Gets past him easily before the end of the straight. And also, Yerne is going to go up the inside of Tom. And Tom loses 3 positions in 1 lap.
Oh, this is not great news. And the race leader has been given a 3-second time penalty. So Jomi has cut the corner somewhere on the track. DRS now enabled. So the battle begins once more. And this is where the action is. Everywhere is. I wish we had 20 cameras on one screen. That should be an option in F1 esports, because this is going to be chaotic no matter where you look.
And watching Marcus too, they're now on the back of Tom. We're going to probably see him going to move soon. He's a lot quicker, and you can see how much more speed's carrying through. He's going to go the inside in towards the loop, which he does. And he's Tom going to hold it back. He's going to try and hold it into Aintree, but I don't think it's going to be enough. No, it's not. And Marcus gets the overtake, also gets the DRS now. So Marcus has got himself into 17th, pushes Tom down to 18th, and that is not the start that Tom wanted. It's really bad for him now. He's on old tyre. Well, not old, but he's on not old tyres. And he's now down last. And I can't see him at least getting past any of these medium runners for a long time.
Really disappointing situation at the moment then for Tom after such a good start. But not up old tyres, multiple pit stops are starting to affect him. Battle's still going with the medium runners, though, starting to get through the field. Philip Walters in 14th position. He's 3/10 off of Flores, who's on the hard, but Flores too is flying, trying to catch Harlem Marquez as well as he comes onto the hangers straight. As well, down towards Stowe Corner. He's a bit too far back. Harlem is actually having a look on the attack as well to try and get ahead of Leroy Brown. They're all going for it as well. Best seats in the house for the British Grand Prix action.
Yep, I'm still watching Harlem. He's really on the back of Leroy. He's got a lot more speed, especially when it comes into the braking zones. He's able to brake a lot later. Oh, there's a bit of a twitch on the exit club there, but he's still within that 3/10 of Leroy. They're coming towards Valley. Is it Valley? Turn 1? Abbey. Now into Farm, and now into Chapel, I believe. Or Village. That's it.
That's Loop.
And then we got Aintree, followed by the Wellington Straits, the one I never usually remember, but now I have, which is good. Harlem, still on the back of Leroy, not going to be able to get past him just yet. He's still stuck behind. This isn't good for Flores because he's not really benefiting of those new hard tyres, which is not what he wants, because some of these guys might be trying to get to the end. So is Flores. So it could chuck a bit into the, mix. Obviously, the top 8 have still got a pit, which means Flores is technically a net P5, which is not what he wants. The question is as well, it's not what Cameron, Leonard, and Jeremy want either, because they're going to pit and then they're going to come out behind these guys. So this is really going to be interesting of, who's going to come out on top, because we've got at least 4 different strategies going out on track, which is not something you normally say. But then again, it's Great Britain. It throws something all the time. It's amazing. Definitely not being biased because it's my home country, but, Yeah,
it's Christmas presents for us. Commentators up here in the comms box as well. But This is getting quite difficult to follow as to who's on which strategy, because I think Rich is right. There is about 4 different ones I can see. The top 8 are on strategy 1, which is a one-stopper. Jan's on a single stop, but he's done it earlier on. So is everyone down to the mediums.
Oh, Flores wide.
That's going to get out Philip something to give some advantage.
Yeah, that was a big snap from Flores coming out of club, and I can see he's pushing the car ever so hard. Philip's also catching on the back of Flores as well, which is not what Flores wants. And Theon is also right behind Philip, so this is going to make for an interesting battle for 13th to 15th. Watching Theon now, he's right on the back of Philip, but can't get past. He lost a little bit of time on the exit of Aintree, but going into Aintree, he was catching a lot. So Theon seems to be a little bit quicker than Philip, but he can't get past just yet. So possibly over the next few laps, you'll be able to try and get a move done. And you could actually, he's going to go for it now up the inside of Luffield.
Nice.
Let's off going in towards Wood Cup. So you can see he's showing Philip, I'm going to get a pass here. I've got the tyres, I've got the speed to do it. But the question is, when?
Answers on a postcard as to when that's going to happen. This is it. Silverstone provides very great close racing, but it's pack racing. It doesn't put us in the usual positions we want it to. So Flores now in 13th position is spent a lap trying to counteract the mistake he made at the exit club, and he hasn't lost too much time, but he's struggling to make these tyres work. As you're on about, Richie, he's losing the advantage of having these tyres so fresh compared to everybody else.
I'm watching Harlem.
Yeah.
Leroy went a bit deep into Vale now, and you can see Arm's got a better exit of Club, and he actually might be able to get... that's the issue. It looks like he's going to get past, but then on the exit of Club, he loses a 1/10.5 to Leroy, which is not good for Harlem. So I don't know if that's due to possibly the track itself, the corner, or if it's anything to do with his car. I mean, setup.
Does look a bit difficult, doesn't it, at the moment, trying to find out. Because Flores is climbing back. Harlem stuck in a train. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cars in a line here. What's happened? Because Flores has dropped down to 13th, Phillips 14th. The timing screen glitched on my end.
Oh. Well, that's not ideal. As we watch Philip, actually, no, Flores, he's actually gaining on Harlem, coming down towards Cops. But it's not going to be enough to make a move. I've said that too many times this race. But Harlem's gone very wide.
Yeah, he's done it again, hasn't he? Second wide moment coming through Cop's corner. That car's not handling right. I think his teammates coming into the pits this lap, so is Bogdan going to come in? Because look, the blue light's on for a pit stop. So who's coming in? Is it Bogdan or Harlem?
The thing is, the hard tyres will be starting to pit soon. And we say that as they do start pitting now, and that's fobbed them in.
Jeremy is in, so Sergio Sabrino takes the lead of the race. Jeremy's in, Leonard's in. Oh, that's great news then, because Leonard needs a good stop here. I'm trying to get to him, but he keeps dropping down the timing screens too quickly as well, because Leonard could ideally get the overall race lead here, because he's done it, he's jumped him! Brilliant, he's jumped him! Leonard has jumped Jeremy. Oh, the timing screen gets back. Jeremy does get ahead of it. Oh, that was a false hope on our part there. I think because the ghosting's on, Jeremy got released at the same time as Leonard, so I thought Leonard was going to get out ahead of him, but Jeremy's snuck back ahead. So that means that Jeremy, even though he's got a 3-second time penalty, he can still technically try and win this race if he can get over 3 seconds to Leonard. But Leonard's just got to hopefully get back ahead as quickly as possible.
And watching Theo McKenna, he's about a 10.5 off Philip. And it seems he's got a lot more pace than Philip, like I said before, but he just can't get past. That's the issue that Theon has, which is going to frustrate him. Yes, he's in the points positions now. But the guys on the mediums, they'll start applying pressure over these next few laps. Once the mediums have got up to speed.
Going to try and push as much as possible as they head down the hanger straight. He's got the DRS power. Well, then again, so is Philip Walters, so it's struggling. They're just counteracting. Oh, and there's the race leader getting a time penalty of 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane.
Which puts Leonard into provisional lead and Cameron into provisional second.
Well, this is just getting insanity now.
It is. The question is now, will anyone else at the top get penalties as well? Because that could throw even more into the bag. And Lefty, he's right behind Jan because Jan hasn't pitted. I don't think Jan is actually going to pit again. No, he isn't because he pitted under safety car.
Early on that.
But this is good for
that
Lefty
two
now,
pit.
as he's just got that DRS there every single time, whereas Jan hasn't. So he doesn't have to worry about losing time to Jan. He can just gain and gain and gain, then back off before the braking zones, and he can keep the position. Watching Floris now, he's right behind Harlan Marquis. He's got a lot of pace. He's on 5-lap fresher hard tyres. He's now into P6. He wants to get himself into that top 5, the top 3 definitely. And as soon as he gets through this train, that's when he can start pushing because he's got the better tyres. His tyres will go to the end easily. And we've also had a spinner. We've had a spinner. Who's that? That's Sabrino!
Oh, no.
So he's down to last.
Okay, so taking a look at the stops, Jensen hasn't stopped yet, so he's still got to come in. Jan has stopped, but Lefted also has. So at the moment, Jan has the net lead of the race, but Lefted is definitely the one to watch out for. He's got the provisional. And look at here. Connor says Cameron and Leonard have no chance of anything with no safety car. I think that's a possibility, unfortunately, at the moment.
Yeah. We've got what? 17 and 26 as what? 9 laps. So yeah, they need a safety car, and a safety car probably will come because they're in our luck. And it adds more into the race, so I'm hoping there is one because then it's all the strategies fighting.
I feel sorry for Jack Humphries. He's just been dropped down to 17th place after starting 6th. He said, what did he say? P6. I'm probably seeing things, he said about half an hour ago at the end of quali.
But it is a
look at that, fastest lap.
And Zoltan. I was going to say, it is a shame for Leonard, Jeremy, and Cameron and Bogdan because they've all had good starts in that top 4, and they're now looking to finish in the bottom 6, which is not what they want.
No,
at all.
And
it's not deserved. They've done really well. And it's just a shame they didn't gamble for that strategy, which the others have. And it's paid off for the others at the moment. Obviously, Leroy Bray's looking for a 4th. He was 15th, about 10 laps ago. So it's really good for these guys who've stayed out late. Daniel's obviously going to have to pit. He'll come out possibly behind Jeremy. No, he will come out behind Jeremy, sorry. And possibly behind Bogdan. Jan's obviously going to take the lead, followed by Lefted and Leroy. So that'll be the podium. Jan, Lefted and Leroy, which is pretty good. Jan obviously will take his 2nd win of the season, being him and Jona with only back-to-back wins. Lefted will take another podium. Leroy Brown will take his 1st podium and at his 1st race of the season. And the way it's going to go, Cameron Dowsey's going to lose his 16-point streak.
Yeah, don't like that.
Which is a big shame.
Yeah, I'm standing on pole as well.
Yeah, it's not what he wants.
Anything can happen in the next 10 minutes.
We've got 8 laps to go.
Look at this.
It's Floris.
Oh, that's a good one from Floris. And he's forced through on the inside. Up to 5th.
Holland went really wide there. Floris now into 5th position. He started 5th, so he's not going to... if he stays 5th, it's not end of the world. Sergio goes fastest, but he's got a penalty and he's down in 18th. So I can't see him actually thinking of scoring any points today, unless another 8 people DNF.
Problem is now, look, Jeremy's got 17 seconds to Tom Martinez as well, so that's the gap. Martinez, then 17 seconds to Jeremy. So we've got a 2 segregation group racing going on at the moment.
Leonard.
Getting ahead. That's crucial. Yep. Leonard up to 12th position. Now he can get going and start closing in this gap. He's on 3-lap on mediums. Martinez on 16-lap on hards. Now the race begins.
It does. I can't see them catching up to the pack anytime soon. Unless a couple of the guys spin or have multiple spins. And I think that was someone cutting the grass completely there. Yeah, or they pit again, which is very unlikely. I think Daniel will end up coming out behind Cameron because he's left it a little bit later than the others. The others have got their mediums ready. They've started to gain a beat 2 seconds on the pack ahead. So I think, Daniel will come out possibly around P15, P16. And then that pushes Leonard to 11th. 1 position away from a point, which is just it's hard. It's horrible for them, but it's the way it is. It's the way the racing works, and sometimes it's got to be harsh to you.
And Martinez then, so the top 10 have sort of really gapped themselves here perfectly. They're the ones who gambled on the early safety car, playing an advantage for them, and it looks to have done so. 19 and 26. Daniel Jensen has yet to stop in this race at all. He's the only one to do every single racing lap
on board with
the same
Floris. He's looking to get past Leroy Brown. Up to Woodcote. This could be a possible side-by-side into Cops, which you've seen 3 times this race already. Is Flores going to do it? Yes, he's Red Bull versus Mercedes.
Oh, not
Into
again.
Cops now, and he gets past. Leroy lets it go. Knows it's not safe to do. So Flores now up into provisional 3rd. Watching the lefted on the back of Jan now through Magnussen Beckett's lefted could possibly go for an overtake into Stowe, because look at that, he's closing really quickly. 2.5 tenths, he's going to go for the lead, I think, which he does.
He's got the DRS. He's going to do it round the outside, and he's done it. Lefted takes the provisional lead into Stowe. He's done a Mansell.
I don't remember that because I wasn't born then. So I'll pretend not to know what that meant.
86, Mansell on fresher tyres, broke the lap record 4 times, passed PK round the outside into Stowe, and shut the door on him out on the outside.
Hang on.
In order to take the lead.
4 times?
Broke the lap record 4 times.
Oh my god. That is something.
And then won the race. Oh, was it 9 times?
Look at Flores. On the back of Jan. He's gaining. This is what Flores wants. Flores could be looking to take a possible win. He's going to get past Jan halfway down the Wellington Straight. Puts himself into provisional P2. Now the charge for Flores is on to lefted, onto that P1. Sergio Sobrino gets another 3-second time penalty, so he won't be scoring anything in this race whatsoever. But this is working brilliantly for Flores. He's got 4 lap younger tyres than lefted. Daniel's still got a pip. This is looking good for a Flores win here at Silverstone.
Well, this is exactly what we were expecting. The tyres have hit the cliff. So 18 laps for Jan Halliday as well. 17 laps for lefted, which means that surely his tyres are dead in the ditch. So we're going to see Flores on 13 lap hold hards start to progress forward. But his tyres are going to go off towards the end. And then look at Philip Waters on the mediums. He's closed back up as well. Could he spring a surprise? But those medium tyres are going to start to go off. So now you've got to look at Leonard, who's in 12th, possibly having the chance to close up. If everybody hits the cliff, we're in for a very entertaining last couple of laps.
We are. And also, that's someone pitting. That's Philip. Philip is pitted.
He's gambling because he's got 17 seconds to Leonard.
You think?
He's gambling. Yeah. That's a big gamble, but it might pay off. If he puts softs on, it's worth it.
We'll go on board. I don't think it's worth the gamble, but we'll see. He's going on soft. Yes, he is. Let's see, does he get through on Leonard? He's going to come out the pit lane. We'll go on board with Leonard, see where Leonard comes out. He's going to get straight past him. Yeah. Philip's going to drop now down to basically last. Because Zoltan will also get through, I think. Yes, he will.
Yes, he has. Wow, okay.
It's not good for Philip. I don't know why he did that. He might have had... I don't think he had damage either.
Well,
but that puts Leonard into 11th. Leonard's looking for a point because Daniel's still got to pit.
Yeah. Daniel, so the top 9 then, the gamble's working for. So Leonard still could do something here. Didn't expect Philip to come in. That was a Ferrari strategy department call there. That hasn't really paid off once again. So forget plan A. They've gone straight to plan F.
And
up as well. Go on.
I was going to say, I think Ferrari are the ones leading the second in the championship. They're on 46. Red Bull's on 42. Meaning now Red Bull are actually going to take that second position from Ferrari, putting them into second. And they're going to also start to close their gap up to Ferrari. Also, that's Flores getting past his lefted.
He's done it, coming out of Vale. I think he's still having the attacking power. Can't quite tell what lefted is on that monitor. Lefted's right behind him, but Flores has taken the net lead of the race. But Daniel's going to try to push the end of the yellow. And that's Daniel in the wall! Oh, is that going to cause anything?
Tom's pitted.
Well, he's thinking safety car. He saw the yellow and thought safety car. But then, is it gone green or not? There's a yellow flag still out there. No, it's gone
yellow still.
No, yeah, has he got going again? Where's
he has.
Is he?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got a puncture! Is that worried?
21 laps and he's got a puncture on the front left. So that's, oh my goodness me. Are we going to see puncture start?
Exactly. Is that worrying the hard tyres?
Well, look at Jan Halliday then. He's done 20 laps. If they puncture at 21, that means that no one can get to the end of the race. Flores might do it, and everyone else might get punctures. Leonard could still take second. Yeah.
I thought Leonard had a puncture then for a second. Sorry. Looks like it on my screen.
Yeah. Well, Leonard could still take in second place here because if everyone's going to start struggling with punctures, then that's what we've got to see. Well, I'm on board with Halliday just looking.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah. Oh, there's someone else.
Who?
Who's that? trying to have a look on the monitor, but Lefted's just lapped somebody ahead of Jan Halliday. Looks okay, no punctures.
This
Halliday's
is
coming up to lap 21.
yellow flag.
sector
That's
two.
Daniel. Daniel again.
Yeah.
He's got nothing left in the tyres now. He's still gonna have to try and make it back though. Tom's pitted onto softs, but yeah, Daniel's gonna have to really nurse those tyres back. Oh, he's done it again. He's spun again.
Oh.
It's not what he wants.
Yeah. Right, McKee is pitted. He's going to put on softs, I presume. Yellow sector 2 and 3 now, and I think that might try and trigger a safety car. Don't think it's going to mean to, but it is. And Flores is right in the back. We need to check to the front because Lefted's in trouble. Lefted has lost so much time in the middle sector. Flores is going to have him easily for the race lead here. Lefted's in big trouble. He's lost 2 seconds on that sector alone, and Flores is right on him.
Yep, let's go back to Flores now. He's going to start catching up on the back of Lefted. Jan's on 21 lap old hards as well, so now we'll be able to see if he's going to get a puncture. Along with also, we've got Leroy Brown behind. He's on 20 laps, and Harlem on 21 laps. So this is interesting. This really is interesting. Fion's battling with Tom Martinez as Daniel still not made it into the pit lane.
Yeah, still can't make it. He's a lap down now.
And he's slowly into the pit lane now.
Apparently Lefted got ahead of Flores. I've called that wrong, sorry. Just looked at the chat for that one. I was too busy looking. I didn't notice the timing screens had changed over because I'm having glitches. So it was Lefted who got ahead of Flores. It's Flores who lost the advantage. There we go.
Another yellow sector.
That's
you know the puncture.
Oh no! This is happening again. I told you it won't work out. He was on 16 lap on mediums.
We'll go back to Jan, who's on the back of Leroy Brown now, and he's also got his teammate just behind, Marcus Tolay. The question is, what did Jan, Leroy, and that do? Marcus has gone up the inside of his teammate, going to take 4th, and his times will probably be made at the end. They're only 17 laps. But the question is now, is this where we start to see drivers think, oh no, is it worth pitting at this point?
I think they've got to. I think the gamble was too much. I'm trying to take a look at everyone who's on old tyres to try and take it. I don't know what happened there with Flores. Flores lost a lot of time to lose the lead, but now Lefted's got back ahead. He looks to be okay, but he's hit 21 laps. Now we're starting to see punctures around about 16 laps for the mediums, so that's not going to affect anybody else. So Leonard's on 9, and everybody else is on 9 or 8 with Sergio Sabrino, and that's Leonard up into...
Harlem's got a puncture!
Punctured, 22, yeah. This isn't going to work. So,
Jan's going to... this is difficult for Jan now. He's going to have to think of something. He's going to have to pit. That's his only option, I think.
And Flores is going for the lead down the hanger straight to the inside line. Breezes through, takes the lead of the race, and Lefted now is going to have to consider pitting because I don't think he's going to get to the end of this race. If he does, now Leroy too is in trouble, and he's got Jan Haller just behind as well, but he too's on the back. And who's that with the adventure? It's Harlem, I guess, still down at Cop's Corner. 25-26. Everyone is on the hards now, crossing their fingers, crossing their toes, and praying. And it is apt because it's Christmas time. And happy Hanukkah to everyone at the moment as well.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone. We'll sail that at the end. We've got to get back to the racing. This is interesting. I'm keen to keep an eye on Jan to see if he gets a puncture. I think you can see, I think he's nursing his tyres a little bit more now because the last thing he wants is a puncture. Fion goes quickest. He's got in 14th. But yeah, this is not good for the drivers in 2nd and 5th and 4th. That's Leroy Brown as well. So yeah, this is really played out how we didn't think it would.
No,
Harlem's out. He's retired in the pits.
Yeah,
in the pit
okay,
lane.
that's good. Right, it would cause a VSC at this point, not anything further. But this is actually quite entertaining.
It is.
Because it's like 2020 Silverstone. Punctures at the end, changing everything. And how long? Can those tyres last another lap? Seriously? 24 for Jan Halliday?
It's gonna be a struggle. But we'll have to see. You can see Lefted, he knows he's got nothing to lose. He's just got to keep pushing after Flores. He's got to try and get through. Flores' tyres will most likely make the end. I can't see him get a puncture. Who's that? That's Bogdan.
Oh,
He's into the pit lane, is he? No, it's not Bogdan. It's Oh, it's Harlem's DNF car.
Yeah.
Silly me.
Car. Last lap, the call of the British Grand Prix. It's been punctures galore.
Leroy!
Oh, he's done it. There we go.
Cameron and Jeremy fighting.
Oh,
And Cameron gets through on Jeremy.
he's going to get back into the points. He's done it. 7th position. Fantastic. And this is turning into the punctures we were expecting. Leroy Brown with a last lap Mercedes puncture. He's out of it. But can Lefton make it to the end? He's looking okay so far. He's done 23 laps. Jan Halliday too. Can he make it on 24 laps? But we're going to see Cameron Downs continue for 14 straight races in the points-paying positions, if I'm right, Richie.
Yep, and that's Leroy Brown down to 12th. Yep, but Cameron Downs goes up to 17-point finishing positions if he can get his car to the end. Leroy Brown, Lefty, he's going to be really, really worried now. He knows it's down to the wire. Marcus Tully's on the back of him, but Floris Vyers is winning. He's legs it. This is interesting now.
Yeah, he pitted early on it, coming through the last couple of corners out of Stowe. He pitted on the opening laps twice under the 2 safety cars, played the gamble of being at the back of the field. It's a back to front in Silverstone. It's back to winning ways. And it's Floris Wyers who wins the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Lefty does an amazing drive to finishing 2nd position, as does Jan Halliday, who finishes 25 laps on the hard tyres in 4th. But it's Marcus Towell who finishes 3rd on the podium for McLaren, who extend their lead in the Constructors' Championship. Moldovan will finish in 7th, gets ahead of Jeremy at the end, but Cameron Downs in 6th means that he does increase the finishing advantage of points in 14 straight races at PSGL
17.
17, thank you.
But that was interesting. I thought, to be honest, Josh, I don't think you was agreeing the same. I thought, right, Leonard was 17 seconds behind. I think this is going to be a bit of a bore fest, but it threw something at us. It really, really did. And
that helped brilliantly.
It makes me think back of Jarno Opmeer in Spa. I think it was PSGL when he got his puncture on the last lap. But what a amazing race, and we want to get as many people as we can into the commentary box for an interview, because this is definitely something to talk about. I'm sure we'll get Floris in with us. I'm sure. Hopefully we can get possibly Jan, maybe Lefted. I definitely can't see Leroy Brown joining in, because he'll be definitely very annoyed with that race. But whew, that was
fantastic.
That was something. And people are really, really congratulating Marcus there. Not Marcus, sorry, Connor. Lefted, in other words. And how we made it to the end with those tyres. And we can see Floris heading up to the podium position, to the front of the podium position. And you can see Marcus and Lefted in the background. But yeah, anyone for an interview, hop into the commentary box if you're watching.
What a fantastic race. I'm just taking a look now. F3 General Chat is going a bit explosive as well. These safety cars are bleep, says Jack. Good game, guys, says Jeremy. Well done to him. Harlem says, I bleeped the safety car strategy and wasn't on my side. 80% on lap 22, says Phil McKee as well for the tyres as well. As Phil McKee says, I was driving a second off the pace to try and live from when the safety car came in, and it still died as well. So that's not great at all. Here's the results.
And we can see Floris took another win. I definitely thought he had it in him, and he did. Fastest lap of 20. Well, his fastest lap of 29.7. Lefty was second, and Marcus, who wasn't raced at all, started 10th, finished 3rd. That'll definitely be something he'll want to remember. And Jan also started 15th. He finished in 4th. So very nice from those guys. We've got Cameron Floris in. So if you want to drag him up, Josh, that would be very nice.
On it.
And you can conduct the first interview.
I'm trying to drag them in, but where are they? There's Floris and there's Cameron. Well, Floris, you are a race winner again at Silverstone. How does it feel? Not a great couple of weeks, but that was spectacular.
Thank you. It was very nice. Very nice. Only practiced, I believe, at 5 or 6 p.m. But to execute it in perfection and walking away with the win is very nice.
And out of interest as well, what was the reasoning behind taking the hard tyres so long in the race? Because you pitted on the first safety car, put softs on, then you pitted again the next lap, put hards on.
But
Then
that
the
was
second
not
safety
me.
car,
That
well,
was
that
not
wasn't
me.
you.
No, I started on the mediums because I saw that people were starting on the hards and thought like Silverstone is a massive slipstream train. So if I just drive away in the first couple of laps, uh, I'm ahead of the train 3 or 4 or 5 seconds, and then going to pit, and then have the hards on, and they'll start battle behind me. So that was my initial thought. And then on the first lap, of course, safety car came out. I didn't pit.
You pitted the
Um,
next time around, yeah.
I pitted second time on lap 6, and until then it went flawless in my opinion. Well, I made loads of mistakes actually in the race, especially on lap 23 when I almost lost the backhand. Well, I did lost the backhand actually, but luckily managed to save it. Only left it got past me. Uh, but yeah, that order from that scan that was a pretty solid race for me.
Yeah, I noticed that, and I said that Lefted had made the mistake, not you. So my memory's going a bit too much at my old age. I need a Christmas holiday, but a fantastic race as well. This should put you quite close up again with the championship lead as well. 5 races to go after the 2-week break as well.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the tracks favour you more? Because I know you said Silverstone wasn't exactly a great one. But you've won
Silverstone for me, Silverstone was a good one, but so that's why I didn't practice at all or not a lot actually for this track, as I knew I was very good at it, and it showed it today again. Um, but I don't know what other tracks are coming. I think Abu Dhabi as well.
Yep,
Abu Dhabi
race.
is a good one for me. Don't know actually. The Brazil probably also a good one. I don't know what other tracks, but most of the final races suit me more.
Absolutely
So
fantastic.
I'm leading. If I calculation right, if I
Yeah.
get the 16 points, I'll be the leader of the championship.
Yeah, by
now
10 points.
by 11 points.
Oh,
Yeah,
correct me.
we're just working that out ourselves. I think that's
But-
right, isn't it, Richie?
It is, yeah. But thanks for joining us, Floris. We could stay here and talk longer, but we've got 3 other people to speak to first. So,
I'll mute myself.
so thank you, Floris, for joining us, and we'll hope to see you next week. Not next
Thank
week,
you.
sorry, the week after in wherever we race. I forgot. But we'll speak to
Portugal.
Cameron next. Hello, Cameron.
Yeah, hello.
That race went from really good to really bad to really good again, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit of a roller coaster.
What was your what was your first reactions to your pole position?
I didn't actually think I didn't really think I'd get pole, so I was actually on a really good lap there, and then into cops, I was for some reason left it. I think it was just nerves or something, and then I lost like a tenth, and I was like, all right, and then I ended up doing like a 360. It's still, and then I thought it was over, but no one improved, and I was really happy. And then in the race, I had a pretty dismal start. I don't really know what happened. I didn't put enough revs, and then from there, the safety car came out. Didn't really know what to do, so I just stayed out. But some capitalized on it, and then just took the tires ages. I'm not really sure what some people did for strategy. It was pretty crazy, but credits where credits due, and they all did a really good job at making the tires last. And then unlucky for the ones that didn't, but yeah, it was a decent race. P6 it's all right. I was hoping for maybe a podium or something, but it's all right, I guess.
Yep.
So I'm not mad.
Another good thing to take away is your point streak is now up to 17. So it's getting higher and higher near that 20 mark, which will be very good for you indeed.
Yeah.
And I think it shows that consistency is key because, to say it bluntly, you're definitely not one of the fastest on some weekends compared to some other drivers. But the fact you're still able to get up there in that championship fight is because you're so consistent. Some other drivers can be really quick, but Binnett, you never seem to have any unluckiness at all. Or if you do, you get paid back in ultra luck. So, really nice. But I'm gonna have to head you off, leave you now. I was reading Josh's message. as we've got to speak to the other guys. So thanks, Cameron, for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Not next week,
Yeah,
the week
thank you.
after.
Yeah,
I
right back.
forgot again. We got the Christmas break. I forgot Christmas
Breathe.
exists. But who we got next? We got Marcus.
Marcus.
Hello.
First race in PSGL. Definitely one to remember. Started. Where did you start? P10. Finished P3. Going into that final stage of the race, I'd say like lap 17, 18 onwards. Did you think a podium was possible?
I mean, after we boxed for the second safety car, I was told by my engineers, "You're net P2. You're net P2. So just stay focused. Try to stick with the train." It was really difficult at first, but then once DRS was enabled, I was just able to stick with them and make a couple crucial moves when I had to.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just stood my ground and took positions where I could.
And it being your first race, P3, is that? Would you say it's a bit of optimism for the next 6 races? Obviously, as being as a reserve, you'll still probably get a chance to race in a couple more rounds this season.
Yeah, I mean, of course, getting a podium on your debut in the season is a great confidence boost. But I think now just enjoy this tonight and get my head down. Of course, there's Christmas coming up. There's New Year's, but get my head down for Portugal. It is, I believe, next round.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get my head down for that and try to do as good as preparation as I can.
Yeah, really nice. Anything for you to add, Josh?
Well, just that we're all mega impressed with what we've seen tonight as well. As a debutant, that was absolutely amazing. And I really hope you get a place in F3 in the future seasons, because that was an absolutely fantastic performance.
Cheers. That's good to hear. Cheers.
And last, we've got Lefted. Can you hear us, Lefted?
Yeah, hello.
Hello. What a race you've had today as well. How close were you thinking that your car was about to explode on those last couple of laps? Punctures everywhere around you, and your strategy was one of only 2 to pay off.
Yeah, I don't know. The last lap was definitely sketchy, but honestly I didn't check my tires at all for the last lap because I just knew I saw the red indicator was there. I just knew it it's just orangey if I puncture or not. So the last 2 laps I was just trying not to drive on the curbs with my left tire because I don't know if it's actually true or not, but I think more curb usage after you're on 75% causes more of a chance of a puncture.
Yeah,
So-
that's what we were seeing, those punctures through turn 1 and the last couple of corners.
Yeah, so I was just trying to avoid the curbs a little bit in the last 2 laps. It was just kind of praying that I didn't get a puncture. But yeah, it worked out in the end, I suppose.
Worked out brilliantly as well. Put yourself right back up there as well with championship points that are most needed. 5 races to go. A run for the championship after we get back for Christmas as well. Are you in that fight, do you think? Or is it now going to be about getting results for the team?
No, I think I'm in the fight. To be honest, I think I was the fastest here today. I fucked up quali. Sorry, I messed up quali. So I was very annoyed after quali. I actually left the call I was in, so I was not very pleased. But in the race, I felt like my pace was really good, and Silverstone's usually not a very strong track for me. So if I can be this quick at Silverstone, I don't see why I can't be quicker at other tracks.
Oh, that's good talk, Richie.
Yeah, definitely reassuring. Obviously, you go into. I don't know if you actually talked about this already, but obviously, you're going to Portland next term. Tom, are you excited or not?
I don't really know. I like Portimao as a track, but obviously there's not been any races or anything around there yet. But I'm sure if I put enough kind of time and effort into it, it can be all right.
Yeah,
Looks to be
definitely.
a good one. Of course, Portugal's rumoured to be replacing the round 4, the calendar for next year as well. So that could be something we might have to practice a bit more if it's going to stick around for another game cycle as well. So best of luck to you both there as well. We've run out of people, Richie.
We have, and that's probably the longest interview session we've had ever. So
Yes.
in the chat, and we're going to switch back to the normal camera screen. 1 second.
If we're there. But
there we go.
There we go. What an absolutely fantastic couple of weeks we've had. It's been 7 weeks, 6 races. and it's been nothing but fun. And
Mhm.
I honestly think, Richie, that after the Christmas break, we're going to be in for the busiest 5 weeks we've ever had because
Possibly.
this championship is just non-stop.
Yeah, it's definitely not over. We've gone into the first few races thinking, Floris has possibly got this. Then Yona came in, so we're like, oh, Floris has not Yona, Yona has a chance. Then we have Jake. And we also have Left It in the fight now. Cameron Dead's possibly if he can keep this up, this
Yeah.
consistency. So it's changing every race, and we could see, the top. I'd say the top 7 all have a chance of being in that championship fight when he goes down to the wire, because all that needs to happen now is for Yona or Floris or Jake or something to have another DNF, and it allows those other guys to get even further up. Because once they're out of the picture, you can see people like Lefted are getting up closer to the top of the field, which is what they need.
Absolutely, and I'm looking forward to it. 5 races to go, 5 very different tracks as well. It's going to be fantastic. And we kick off in January, of course, at Portimao in Portugal. It's a roller coaster circuit. It's where I actually made my commentary debut with PSGL, so back in season 30. So had a year off. Now it's back again. It's going to be a lot of fun as well. But we are actually the last stream of the year because everyone else has ended, which means it's our responsibility, Richie, to sign off for the Christmas year.
Yeah.
And it's been fantastic. What a year we've had. We've still got half a season to go. But I just want to say, on behalf of me, before I hand over to Richie, have a very Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy Yule, and a Happy holiday season to everybody as well. And most importantly, a Happy New Year as well. Hope everybody stays safe. Hope everybody has a fantastic time as well. And hope everybody gets the presents they want as well. But of course, it's mainly about family time after. This is our first real Christmas, of course, since everything's ended with the COVID pandemic. It's still there, but no restrictions this year as well. So enjoy it and stay safe. Richie?
Yep, I think this year didn't start off the best, but it's ended off on a bit of a high note, personally, and in the league racing community. Everything's gotten a little bit better. Obviously, we went from F1 21 on a very good high, thinking, right, the next game is going to be absolutely amazing. F1 league racing is going to kick off, and that absolutely went down the hill, down the what's the word? Down the drain. One of the one. And then it's sort of evened out. They fixed a few issues, but the issues are still there. Some of them are. So, but the good thing is our community decided to kind of try and push the issues aside and still try and have fun, which I think is the main part of it all. So, yeah, I think we can end the year on a high. We ended the year on an amazing race. Definitely. One of the best ones to remember. So, yeah, as Josh already said, Merry Christmas to everyone. Have a good year, New Year. And we'll be back on the 9th, I think it is, isn't it? 9th of January for the Portuguese Grand Prix. I haven't actually commentated any races there yet, so it's going to be a fun one. So we'll see you all again, guys. Have a good evening, week, month, and we'll see you all for the next race. Goodbye.
And just a quick reminder, we will be on at a different time as well. We'll be on earlier at 7 p.m. GMT as well, so an hour earlier to accommodate the return of F1 as well. So we'll see you in Portugal at 7 p.m. an hour earlier. But yeah, absolutely. Merry Christmas, and Merry Christmas to you, Richie.
Merry Christmas to you as well, Josh. Goodbye.